Much debated issue of flags.
Yes, the former Top Gear presenter James May tweeted about there being too many pride flags on Regent Street. He wrote, "Pride, while I have observed and admired what you have achieved over my lifetime, may I respectfully suggest that you are borderline guilty of too much bunting. It may be seen as authoritarian and therefore oppressive."
Too much bunting, TMB.
It's a lot of bunting.
Well, as the Euros kick off tonight, should central landmarks of the capital city be adorned instead?
Or any other city.
With the St George's flag instead of the Pride flag. Let's have that debate.
Yes, to discuss this, we're joined now by political commentator and broadcaster Christine Hamilton and the discrimination lawyer Robin Moira White. Christine, is it a case of too much bunting or the wrong bunting?
Well, there seems to be some confusion. As I understand it, the photograph that James May actually tweeted is an old photograph from a couple of years ago when it was Pride's, I think, 50th anniversary, and that was their excuse. But I haven't been to Regent Street. I don't know what it's looking like at the moment, but it would be nice if there was St George's flags. But, you know, you can't change the flags every day, etc.
They are still there, Christine. They are still there for Pride Month.
They are still there, fine. They are still there. But I think, you know, James May is somebody I really take much cognizance of. I don't mind about calves or anything like that. I think it was slightly tongue-in-cheek, but I think it was very unfortunate that he says he didn't, but he did make some sort of reference to the origins of World War II, which I think was a bit unfortunate. And I think that's probably why he's had so much pour down on him, like a ton of bricks. But yes, I would like to have seen some Union flags on D-Day, for example. Why didn't we celebrate that? And yes, why not? I'm not particularly into football either, but yeah, let's support our home team.
Well, let's throw that over to Robin Moira White. Robin, there are some people who will say that actually, for a whole month, one of the sort of premier streets of the capital, I mean, it does seem that perhaps there are sort of other events that get shrouded out.
Well, you know, I used to be sceptical about things like flags, and I have a strong working connection with our railway network. And there came a moment when Southeastern put what they call a train bow, i.e. a version of a pride flag across the front and end of one of their trains that runs around the Southeast. And the positive reaction from the LGBT staff of Southeastern had to be seen to be believed, just with something so, in some ways so trivial, but showing that they were valued.
Robin, if someone started grumbling about it and saying, "Oh, I don't know why that train needs a rainbow flag on it," and all of that, would you think that they were, I don't know, showing bigotry?
Let's not jump to calling people bigots. Let's jump to the fact that my local pub, when England is playing, does indeed fly, you know, the St George's flag and celebrates Englishness. Let's celebrate the diversity of our country in different ways, and let's be pleased to do that.
Christine, just throw it back to you. Of course, James May has taken a bit of flack for this tweet. He used a 2-year-old photograph. He could have, of course, taken a photograph just yesterday or indeed today and done the same tweet. But why do you think he felt compelled to tweet this?
I've no idea. I mean, obviously taking an up-to-date photograph would have been TME, too much effort for him. So he used an old photograph. He needs to check his facts. But you mentioned with Robin, why is it a month? Why is it a month? Why do we have Gay Pride Month? We have their special day on, I think it's the 29th of March, when they have, no, not the 29th of March, 29th of June, sorry, when they have the Pride and the celebrations and the march and everything. But why a whole month? We don't have Mother's Month. We don't have Armed Forces Month. Why do we have to have a month? And it seems to me that LGB, etc., of course they deserve equal rights, and it's been a long and hard battle to get them. But what I object to, and what I think a lot of people object to, is special treatment. Yes, equal rights. And there cannot be many people in this country nowadays who don't have amongst their friends gay, etc. I mean, there really can't. And my understanding is that a lot of gay people object to all this over promotion, and the idea that if you object to it, you are regarded as homophobic, etc. I'm not remotely homophobic, but I just think enough is enough. And I think that spread of flags, if they're going to be up there for a month, is frankly special treatment. It's ludicrous, but I presume it's Sadiq Khan's doing.
I mean, Robin, has this all gone a bit too far? I mean, you've got, you know, banks and hedge funds and supermarkets all emblazoning their brand logo with the Pride or the Progress flag. Is it all a bit sort of virtue signally, particularly when the corporates get on board?
No, I don't think it is. I think it shows the value of a staff, as Christina said, who have had to fight very hard to be treated equally. And I'm afraid some people still need to be reminded to treat people equally. And the changing of logo colours for a period, and it tends to be for the month, for Pride Month, is something that shows that piece of value. People value it. They see it comes round each year, and their value is marked. And quite right, have months to celebrate other characteristics, other things in society, have other events. I was certainly out. You
It's only
mentioned
12
D-Day
months, though, Robin.
Well, you mentioned D-Day at the start. Part of my family history is fighting across Northwest Europe. I had a grandfather who was particularly involved in that. And at the moment, I'm daily on what I still call Twitter. I am putting out the history of his trip across Northwest Europe and celebrating that. And I'll be doing that until next May. So everything has their time.
OK, well, getting back to Christine, just a quick one, just to finish. I mean, it is, some people would say, you know, the only flag we need in our capital city should be the Union flag.
Well, that's the only flag we need, as what you might call a basic flag, but then we can have different flags. You mentioned the Euros. We can have a different flag for different events, but for a whole month. The other thing I have to say I object to is this purloining of the rainbow. I used a rainbow emoji on a tweet the other day. I think we just had our wedding anniversary, and I put a heart and a rainbow emoji. It was all ridiculously lovely, and I got criticised for that. And I said, excuse me, but the rainbow is a much loved natural phenomenon which belongs to all of us, and it shouldn't be hijacked by one particular group in society.
Well, Christine, there was a time when you couldn't draw a rainbow without thinking that it was in favour of the NHS. It was this train, an NHS train or an LGBT train. It was quite hard to discern.
That's a funny point, Christine. Thank you so much, Christine Hamilton and Robin Moira White. Great to speak to you both on this.